I wasn't really talking to her. It was like kind of like.
So he was talking to both of us like in the same way, but he was talking to her more.
When I got to the party, I was like, "Who is this girl, bro?"
Everybody played spin the bottle, but if I would have played, you would have looked at me different. And stuff. She was like, "Bro, you guys need to get on TikTok," and I was like, "Ew, no." I hated TikTok. We didn't have a childhood where our parents hid things.
Save your money. Everybody when I was young was like, "Oh, save your money." There's times when shit is tough. And we're like, bro, like, what do I do? Like, what do we do?
Alright, you guys. So, first off, welcome to this podcast. We do have a little disclaimer. So, it was our first podcast only, and we're using a bunch of professional equipment that we've never used before. So, like, we kind of didn't use the microphone right. So you can't hear us through the microphone. But you're gonna hear us, just not through the microphone. But bear with us, every episode is gonna get better as we go learning like what is better and what sounds better. So we hope you guys love this podcast and you guys come back for episode number 2. Please.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, and we're live. Welcome, guys. This is the No Discretion podcast, guys, and
we're finally here.
We're here.
It's crazy.
We're here.
It took a long time.
It took us a little bit.
Yeah.
Why did it take us a little bit?
First of all, they don't know New York.
Hello, guys.
So I'm Darlene, and this is
DeAndres, and we are your hosts, whether you like it or not. Okay.
Darlene.
You get in where you fit in, guys.
Yeah, guys. So as you heard, the name of this podcast is No Discretion. If you know what no discretion means, it means that we're not gonna have any discretion.
Nothing,
we're gonna tell you how we really feel.
Nothing discreet. Nothing on the down low. Nothing on whatever you want to call it.
We do have a D&D here because we're also going to link that in the description down below, but we do have a YouTube channel called D&D for DeAndres and Darlene, not for Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, for not for
D&D Nation, actually. But we do have a sign right now. At some point, we will get a no discretion sign, but this is what we got. So
I hope you guys like the setting, y'all. We put a pretty good amount of work into all of this, into like behind this table, these chairs, which matter of fact are uncomfortable as shit. All right, we wasted $200 on these uncomfortable escalators.
We didn't waste, but I wish y'all could see, well, you could see the background because we filmed it. But so go down to our other channel and subscribe.
Yeah.
But we did this little setup, y'all. We're really excited.
And look how funny this thing. We actually got these wood panels today, and then
they're not even glued to the wall.
They're not even glued to the wall. I don't know if y'all can see that, but
so like I said, no discretion.
Yeah,
like we have no discretion. We're gonna show y'all everything. We had to wait. So what we were saying is how long we had to. We didn't wait. We didn't have to wait. Yeah. But we waited. We've been wanting to do this podcast for like a year already.
We didn't. I wouldn't say that we waited. I just feel like we got up off our asses and finally got things moving.
Done. Yeah. But the thing is that we don't live alone. So this is like our house's living room. Like we live at my mom's house. So 1, we live with other people, so we can't just do whatever we want.
Yeah.
2, this was looking crazy. This living room was looking crazy 2 months ago.
So we painted it. To be able
we did we did a bunch of stuff to fix it up. So we could have been done that, but we didn't. So now that we did, we could do it.
Well, what matters is that we're here. What matters is that we're here and we finally got it started. So guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to this channel. Once we upload this, you guys are gonna see how interesting our topics are. Cause to be honest with you, I feel like everybody says it. Oh yeah, I can do a podcast. But like, what's important is when you get down to the podcast. Like, can you really like deliver?
We really do talk a lot, and every time it's funny because we watch GMB. If you guys don't know who GMB is, they just started a podcast too, and they said the same thing. Like they be doing shit and like. Every time they do something, they're like, if we had a podcast, we could talk about it. And we do that all the time.
Yeah,
So, and we also just have a lot of shit to say. Like, when we do our YouTube videos, we have to cut out a lot of what we talk about because it's just too long.
Yeah, and I feel like a podcast is just like raw and uncut. Like, you know, we're here speaking our minds and we're here, like...
And even if people don't watch it, at least we're getting it off our mind.
Literally with no discretion, so...
Yeah.
You know?
So, yeah, guys, I hope that y'all fuck with the setup. We are going to start today with what topics, what I'm starting with today.
How did D&D become a thing? And how did D&D meet? Alright guys, so we have a special guest, Jessica.
Jessica.
No, her name is actually Jessie.
Her name is Jessie.
She's behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Directing everything.
She's looking at us.
Yeah. But like I was saying,
we met when we were 16.
We met when we were 16 years old. We met in school. We went to the same school.
That's not where we met. Okay, I'm gonna say the story because you're already not. We did not meet in school.
All right.
Okay. So the first time we met, because we met 2 times, but like the first time we met, it was my friend's surprise birthday party that we did at my friend's house.
Oh, that's true.
And then they invited their guy friends, or like our guy friends, but we didn't know him because he wasn't in our school. He wasn't a rabbit.
Yeah.
So they came with him.
I was just a black nigga of the group that pulled up to the party.
So we were both with people though. Like I was like barely with someone, but like we both were like in relationships. So it was like a group of people. It was a surprise birthday party. He came, but we didn't know each other. And then the first time we talked was because I put a song. You remember the song?
Of course I remember the song. Listen, at that time, it was when Glock 9 had first came out. Glock 9, I don't know if y'all I mean, it's a little bit of hood, like rap and
really
shit.
Ghetto.
So you guys might not know, but it's like...
If you're from Florida, you probably know.
Yeah, if you're from Florida, you probably know. And I was so surprised at the fact that
I knew the song.
She knew the song.
And he didn't know the song. The thing is that I put him on. So since I put him on, he was like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was just listening to Glock 9 like not too long ago. Literally, like 2 months prior to that, or actually weeks prior to that, I had just gotten on Glock 9. So it was kind of strange that she knew it. But I was like, damn. But I want to tell my side of the story because I feel like that was like...
But hold on. You could talk about that after. So I put him onto Glock 9. Or not I put him onto Glock 9. I put him onto a song. I put a song and he was like, damn, what the fuck? How do you know that song?
Chain Gang.
It was Chain
Gang by Glock 9.
It was Chain Gang.
Bumps.
Yeah. And then I put him onto that song, so he already was like, damn, what the fuck? And then everybody played Spin the Bottle, but we both didn't play because we were both in relationships. So then we were like the 2 ones that like didn't do anything. But we didn't talk there.
And the funny thing is that everybody wanted me to play. You remember that?
I do remember that.
And then like I was like, man, come on, bro.
But it's so funny how things work out because I feel like if we would have played, not you because you're a guy, but if I would have played, you would have looked at me differently.
A different way for sure.
Yeah. So whatever. So that happened, and then okay, you can say how you felt because then the other time we met is a whole other story.
Listen, bro. I'm just gonna keep it nice and short. When I got to the party, I was like, who is this girl, bro? Like you were wearing like some black jeans with some high heels and like I don't even remember the shirt. But I got to the party and I was like, who is this? Yeah. Like she stood out of all the girls that were there, which I obviously already knew. She stood out and I was like, bro, I swear to God on my mom's life that she drops right now. I was like, bro, that's somebody's cousin. I was like, that is somebody's cousin. Whose cousin is this, bro? Like she needs to leave with me. Bro. Although, I was like, I was in a relationship at the time. I was like, eyes never lie, so I was like, damn, bro.
So that was the first time we met, and then that night, whatever, like, whatever, like, we were both with people, so nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happened.
And then in December,
we talked. Sorry to interrupt. We talked very, very briefly. Like,
yeah, we talked about the song.
And mind you, we were both coupled. We were like sitting like really like tighty right next to each other.
It was like a little bench.
Yeah, it was a little bench, and we were like next to each other.
You know who actually was sitting next to us? Chris.
Chris. My dog Chris.
That did her pictures for her anniversary.
My dog Chris.
But whatever, so then that was the first time. And then the second time that we met, which was like the real time that we met, was in December of that same year. That we both had just like finished like breaking up with like the people we were with. Literally. And then I went on a cruise and I had like my little like time. You got me? Like I was like, I'm free. And then I was like, this is my whole phase. And you were thinking the same thing.
Yeah, bro. I feel like everybody says that once they get out of a relationship, they're like, bro, I'm gonna go and fuck everybody. I'm gonna go and like
so
do a whole bunch of shit.
That's what we were on. And then I got back from my cruise and I think it was like a week, that same weekend, that we went to his friend's house for like a little getty that they were having with my friends we went to. And
no. Remember that we saw each other at school. I saw you at school.
Oh, that's true. We did see each other.
I was like, you go to my school?
That's true, because we saw each other that time at the surprise birthday party. Then we saw each other in lunch, and then he was like talking about, I know I've heard about you or whatever. Remember? And then okay. So guys, I don't know where we left off because the camera stopped recording, but basically we were like right after I got back from the cruise, like that same weekend, we went to his friend's house for a little getting. And my mom dropped me off in front of the house, and there was like a column, like you know, like those houses, like the front door is there, but like there's a little column.
Yeah, little concrete column.
And it was like me, my friend Catherine, and my friend Jonathan, and we're like walking, but I was the last one to walk in, and he like jumped at me, and he scared the fuck out of me, like literally, like I screamed. And then I walk in, and my mom texts me, and she's like, "Who the fuck was that? Like, who did that? Whatever." And I was like, "Oh, just some guy."
She probably just saw a shadow like jump out.
Because it was at night, and I was like, "Oh, just some guy, whatever." And then nothing. We were there, was chilling, and he was already being like a little friend. Not like friendly. It wasn't even that. We were literally sitting on the couch.
You're making me sound like I'm out here thirsty and shit.
No.
I was normal. Listen, let me give y'all some backstory to this. That same day, you remember what happened that same day?
I do know.
That same day, I was done. Like I was done like with my relationship, but I was like still kind of like fucking with like my ex. Like not fucking with my ex, but like kind of like. We're doing some things. So I had just gotten back from her house that same day, which I was desperately like waiting to leave. Like desperately, so I call up my boy, and mind you, at that time you don't have a car and shit, like you know, we're so young. But I call up my boy and I'm like, yo, I need you to pick me up, whatever. They slid, because knowing that we had a Getty at Brandon's house at night, they slid and picked me up, and then that's when the whole thing happened with you once she got to the party, whatever. As a night passed or whatever, we were just there chilling, you know, doing 16-year-old shit. So we're not. This is no discretion. We were smoking, we was drinking, we was doing all crazy shit. So mind you,
we were just okay.
And we were home alone. We had open crib. We had open crib.
Open crib. You remember open crib?
So it was like fuck it.
But yeah, and then we were sitting on the couch, and the first thing that like we probably for sure talked before that, but the first thing I really remember, we were like sitting. It was like an L couch, and he was like on that extreme, and I was like on the other one, and he was like, "You're so underrated." And I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Mind you guys, the whole vibe, the lights were off. Like, I think we were playing like Marvin's Room in the back or some shit like that. Like, everybody was just singing to Marvin's Room, like Drake. And then the vibe was on. And then a nigga was a little saucy and, you know, a little sauced up. So I was just like, bro, you so underrated. And it just came out. Like, I didn't even think of it. You just so underrated. And I feel like she got like thrown up, like back by it.
I did, because I was like, what is that? Like, like nobody had ever told me that. Like I was like, what does that mean? Like I like in a way it was like I didn't know if it was a good or bad thing.
Yeah, she kept on asking me, what does that mean?
Like, what the fuck? Like, what does
underrated.
That mean?
You know what underrated means? Like, you know, like not everybody, not too many people like fuck with you or whatever, but you pressure. Like you pressure. That's how I felt at the moment. Obviously. And then she goes,
I was like, bro, you're just high.
You're just high and you're just lit, so you know you're just saying stuff. And I was like, oh, bet, let me get your number and I'll tell you everything that I said today. I'll tell you tomorrow.
Smoothness.
And I got her number, yo. That same night, I was like,
but at the end of the night, we were already like, we were sitting next to each other, and I already had like my leg on top of him and
her
shit.
legs all over me and stuff. I was like, damn, this girl fast.
No, but for real. And then it was winter break too, so then it was the most raw time to me because we just hung out like so much. That winter break felt like a month.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and the thing is that in that time, both of our friends, like my girl's friend group and his guy's friend group, like got along. So everything we would do together.
Yeah, we were actually the bad influences. Like the boys were the bad influences. They were like, mind you, these people were like magnet program. Cambridge, like smart people in high school, and like we're just here like the degenerates, the smokers, the fucking like. Obviously, I played baseball and shit throughout my high school. And I was focused on my shit, but like it was a bad influence.
Yeah.
But
we had fun though.
Yeah, we had fun.
So then we met, and never in my life would I think it would have became what it became.
Yeah.
Because it was literally just supposed to be like a little like sneaky link vibe.
Yeah, and it sucked that it didn't happen sooner. We actually like didn't talk for like a month. Like after we met, like we were talking, but it was very on and off.
But he was talking to someone at the same time.
I wasn't really talking to her. It was like kind of like let's see what happens like with the person.
So he was talking to both of us like in the same way, but he was talking to her more because he had already been talking to her before he met me.
Yeah.
So then he was like talking to her. So then there was a time in winter break where we didn't really talk.
Yeah.
And then I think it was. Actually, I know when it was. It was New Year's that I got drunk.
Yes. Yes.
And then
oh my
it was
God.
New Year's it was like a while that we didn't talk, like, and by a while I mean like a couple days. And then in New Year's, when like it was like 12 o'clock and I was drunk and I was just like, oh, let me text him Happy New Year. So I was like, oh, Happy New Year's, Jay, or some shit like that, like whatever we used to talk like. and then whatever, he texted me back, and then I think January 1st was the night that, again, we were winter break, so it was like we didn't have school, and then like in the middle of the night we started texting, and then we FaceTimed that night, all night, and then we didn't stop talking.
Like, I'm talking about like we went to sleep on FaceTime, woke up the next day on FaceTime, still, like, when that shit happens, you know it's for real, like when y'all falling asleep on FaceTime, like off the first day talking, like you know it's for real.
So then that's what happened, and then nothing. I think we went back to school. We weren't dating yet though. Like we talked for like a month.
Yeah.
Like talked for like a
Literally,
month.
like for like a month.
And then that month was when like the girl that he was talking to before was like, you know, he had to kind of let go of her, and she got a little mad.
She was tripping.
And then
I was like, Jesus Christ.
But to tell you like how it was, like short vibes, whatever, from January 1st we started talking, February 14th he asked me out.
Yeah.
And we
that's exactly February 14th. I know a lot of you may think like, oh, that's super fucking corny, but it's like, fuck you guys. it's Valentine's Day.
It's cute.
Yeah.
So we started dating February 14th of sophomore year.
And here we are to this day, 5 years.
21 years old.
5 years. 5 years later, and we're still together. Isn't that kind of crazy?
It's a little crazy. No breakups.
Time has just flown by ever since like we've been 16 till now. Like it's just, and then how did D&D become D&D?
So D&D.
Tell them how like we kind of went about the whole, how everything happened with D&D. How like
we started dating
a couple, like a social media couple.
Yeah. So we started dating. There's like a time in between we're not going to talk about because that's for the next episode of how we moved in together at like super young.
No, that's
a whole other
episode. One of the best episodes. Like,
so that's episode number 2. So we're gonna skip that. At this point, we're already living together. COVID starts, and his aunt Joanne, which you guys will see at some point, and we will put her down below.
She's also an influencer.
She's an influencer and has been for forever. And when COVID started, that we started hanging out with her and stuff, she was like, "Bro, you guys need to get on TikTok." And TikTok had just started, and I was like, "Ew, no."
Yeah.
I hated TikTok. I was like, "That's disgusting." And then our cousin Janet would get on us and be like, "Bro, why do you guys not like TikTok?" Because we didn't even have it downloaded on our phone. Like I thought it was like super ew. And then one day she like showed me, we were like in the car and she went on TikTok and like showed me videos, and I was like, oh shit, this is like fun.
Yeah.
And I got TikTok.
Yeah, she got TikTok.
And then once we got TikTok,
I still wasn't fucking with it.
You wasn't fucking.
She would show me TikToks and I'd be like, bro, that's what you want, bro? Like you watching TikTok? Are you serious?
Oh, the little dances. Like,
they got you.
Because at that point it was just dancing and stuff like, but not really. There was so much more to it. I just didn't know. And then once we got TikTok, his aunt was like, bro, if you guys did TikTok, everyone would love you. Like, at one point, she literally sat us down on her couch and made us do a video.
Yo,
like our first ever video.
Like, it was like she was behind the camera with a gun pointing
at us. Like,
and we were like sitting next to what was the video?
The Q&A that is like, oh, who said I love you first? Or whatever, that.
And then you like put a finger down and
shit. So that was the first TikTok we ever made. And after that, we never touched TikTok ever again. But
for a while, like for like 2 more months.
For years.
No, not years.
For like a year. We didn't touch TikTok for like a year. Because when we started TikTok was after he did. So his aunt is also an actress, right? And she would get us like little extra gigs. Like, you got me like to be an extra for money.
Yes.
And she had told us to get on something. If you're Cuban, you know about Padre Vida. That was like a whole thing here.
A documentary.
And they did a documentary. But at one point we thought it was a commercial. And she's like, pull up to the commercial. You guys will be extras. It's like 150 for the day. So we were like, okay, bet, we went. When we pull up, it's not a commercial, it's a whole documentary. Like, it's a whole thing with a whole, like a super famous guy from Cuba that like, it was super cool. But the point is, the guy pulled up and he's like, oh, I want him to be me when I was little.
Yeah, like the main character.
I was like, oh shit. Brother. And he was so not trying to do that. Cause he's like,
mind you, this is not my workspace. I've never done this in my life. So it's like just transitioning from being a normal person to like now like learning how to act or like acting or whatever, and I was like, bro, I didn't even know what to do.
And he wanted to leave and everything.
I wanted to. I mean, it was Father's Day. It was Father's Day. This was supposed to be like a quick thing.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to meet my dad, and then I was there stuck till like 7 p.m.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, like.
It was crazy, but whatever. whatever, he did it, he went into it, and when he went into it, everybody was like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, he just has it naturally. Like, he's just good at it. Like, I wasn't able to go in, but, like, the girl that was there was like, I don't know how he did it. Like, I just told him what to do, and, like, he was able to express the feeling, like, perfectly.
It's because I'm a Cancer, so we get emotional with everything.
But, whatever, that happened, and I think that was, like, where his mind clicked, and he was like, damn, like, I could do that. Like, you got me? Like, I could do this. And TikTok is nowhere near actually acting.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, like, the whole thing.
After that, it just, like, I don't really remember.
I'm lying. After that, his aunt showed us how she was getting paid on Facebook. And I'm like, shit, one thing we are is hustlers. So I'll make videos for money. Like, you got me?
And then, at first it was for money. When we did start doing like content and stuff, it was for money. But then after the fact, it was like, bro, like I really like doing this.
Yeah.
I like turning like a video from scrap to like an edited video, and the way it looks and stuff like that, and like the having to.
That wasn't even YouTube at that point.
No,
like,
it wasn't YouTube.
It wasn't even close to.
It was just TikTok and this, like posting on the social medias.
And then since we were posting on Facebook, I'm like, we might as well just post everywhere. Like we're doing the videos anyway. So then we started doing it, and like we said, at first it was like, oh, just for, like just for the money, and then we were like, shit. We started liking it, we started doing it, we were making money, and we just kept doing it, and then we just kind of saw the possibility and like what it could be, and we actually liked it. So it was like, shit.
Anybody who says that social media and like doing content is easy, try it for yourselves.
Yeah, like if
you
think
learn how to edit and learn the algorithm of YouTube or even Instagram, TikTok. Try to learn all of that and watch the videos and do all that type of stuff. Like you see how easy it is. And I'm not like bragging or anything. I'm just saying like
not bragging. It's just that we've learned, and that's like it's a whole job industry. Like it's not easy. It's not something that if you want to I want to do YouTube, like it's not something you're just gonna like. But to talk about how we got into YouTube, because we started doing the TikTok videos, and then I mean when you start getting into it, you're like, okay, like the biggest thing is YouTube.
Yeah,
like that's where
that's where you want.
That's where you want to be at, like
YouTube, like Rumble and shit.
Yeah, Patreon, but you only get to that point with YouTube. You get what I'm saying? So then we started looking at it, and it's like, bro, we're already doing all these videos. Like we can do that. Like it's
like long form videos.
Long form videos, and then. So we started doing it, and then we started learning how to edit, and
we got $1,000 camera,
we got a computer to edit.
We had to invest a lot of money into this, but like
and at this point, keep in mind, we're not big on any.
Yeah, like it's not like we have a million subscribers
really
or like we're still starting, but we've grown from a year and a half ago to like where we are now.
Our biggest jump has been in the last like 5 months.
Yeah.
Like we got to 15K, and then after 15K, we just like went crazy. Like we're at almost 24K now on Instagram. And then last month, or like 2 months ago, we jumped on TikTok.
Yeah.
Now we're almost at 15K on TikTok. But that was like, it's already been like a year and a half since we started doing content. Or more, like maybe 2.
And it's hard, guys. It's hard to stay consistent. Like out of everything, it's hard just to stay consistent just because you're dealing with YouTube, you're dealing with Instagram, Facebook, all the other social medias, and at the same time you have to edit. And now we just added something else to our plate, which is a podcast, which is even more editing. But I don't mind. Like I like staying busy, and I like working, and I like not like being able to live my normal life just because I know I'm working. You know, so that kind of like gives me like a sense of confidence and a sense towards our industry or whatever. But yeah, it's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. But we love it. We love the process. Like I said, like eventually it became something natural.
It did become natural, but it gets hard, which is what I was gonna explain. Like before we like saw like us growing on platforms, it was like fuck, bro.
It's very
we're making videos every day. We're posting videos every day. It's been a year. Like we're not. TikTok isn't growing. Like Instagram is like. Until you hit that. The thing too is that people think like, I'm just gonna make videos, and like, bro, behind all of this is like, we watch YouTube videos about the algorithm on Instagram, the algorithm on TikTok, when do you have to post, what do you have to post, like, you study it and you have to learn, and because of that, we pick the algorithm up and it's already like, I got you with every video, but before that, it wasn't like that.
Mind you, there's people out there in the world that they post the same video with the same song 5 times, and it goes viral.
Yeah.
Every time. And it's just like the person or whatever. Like you.
No, and there's people that don't need, like you pick up the algorithm yourself because maybe your personality.
Exactly.
But it really depends on what niche you're in, and you have to be able, like there's different niches. I'm not a storyteller. Like that's not what I'm a storyteller like this, but like I can't put a camera for TikTok and like just start saying something. Like that's not me. But there's people that are like that and they pop off in 2 seconds. Like GMB popped off like super quick, but because they do things that we don't do. You know?
The toxic shit that everybody likes.
Shit. And
all the
what
hating.
the fuck does everybody like toxic shit? Like most of our views that are like millions is something like toxic.
The video that made us go hot on TikTok.
Remember?
Was the toxic ass video of you throwing a chair at me.
No, but the first video that went viral was the therapist one.
The therapist one, yeah, but I'm talking about on TikTok.
Yeah. Oh, on TikTok,
that made us blow out of the water. It was a toxic video of her throwing a stool, big ass stool at me. And I was like, bro, this is what people like.
People like it. And like either it's like because of bad comments or because of people that get that it's just funny and we're joking, but like whatever it is, like it's engagement and like it picks it up. And Instagram or TikTok is like, damn, people fuck with this video. We got so many shares, like, you know, and it just like it's literally a ball like that rolls and it gets bigger.
It's a snowball effect. It's a snowball effect at the end of the day. But yeah, it's
really cool. So that's basically how we got into doing social media. And then from last year...
sorry, baby.
Yeah.
I feel like I keep interrupting her.
Like, let me say
it. But yeah, we're planning on keeping on growing, obviously, like, you know, in this industry, because it's something that we like to do. It's not something that, like, I'd be excited to do content. Like, I'd be excited to put stuff out for you guys. Like, look, like, let's turn this video into this.
Oh my God,
like, you know, let's try to get this video from this person and make it better, 3 times better. And then eventually, once you make it 3 times better, you add a little bit of your own spice to it. You innovate in a sense.
That video of throwing the chair was literally that. Like, we saw that video from someone else and we were like, okay, like, let's do it. But like, let's make it whatever.
We completely switched around the whole video.
Let's make it better.
The same sound, just we switched around the whole video.
Yeah.
You get me? And yeah, like, you gotta be creative to some sense. Like, you gotta let your creativity loose if you want like your shit to come out good. Like eventually, you know, you can't just copy exactly what other people do, because like then when are you gonna like take out your authenticity? You know what I mean? Like, let's say those people don't post. Like, where are you gonna get your videos? You gotta go back into your fucking filing
cabinet. That's a big reason why we wanted to do the podcast. Was because, for example, like in our Instagram, like sure, we're growing on TikTok and on Instagram, but those videos don't really show our personality. Like, they're skits and some of them, but most of them don't. And at the end of the day, you gotta post what the algorithm likes. And that's what the algorithm likes. But, for example, like in our YouTube videos on D&D Nation, on our other channel, like it's also like challenges or like vlogs. In the vlogs, you see a lot more of our personality, but it's not...
It's still not like face-to-face
Like, we sit down and talk with people and like... Not to like, it's not to brag or don't take it, but like we talk to people that are older and it's like, damn, like we can hold a conversation with them. And this is something that if we recorded would be like, you know, when we talk to his aunt, Joanne.
And we've gotten it confirmed many times. It's like, why do you guys speak like that? Like, why can't you guys hold a conversation with like a fucking 50-year-old man? But like, I be speaking to older people sometimes. Once again, it's not to like toot our horns or nothing, guys. Like, I be speaking to like older people sometimes, and it's just like brother, like I can't hold a conversation with you. Like it's like I'm trying to like talk about something mature, and it's like it always like turns,
it's always a joke.
Like, you know, when a person can't really hold like a mature conversation, like you can't sit down with them and talk about business or like shit that's going around the world, like, you know. So it's like, why are we 21 years old and like being able to speak the way that we do? Like, you get me?
But I think for sure part of that is like we both had to grow. I think we both matured really young. Like, we both grew up kind of the same in a way in terms of like, I don't know, I think helping our moms, like literally like having to help our moms with shit, just like, I don't know, it grows you up because like we didn't have a childhood where our parents hid things from, like, you know, like where you have a childhood where like you don't tell your kids your problems, or like your kids don't notice you're struggling, or like that's not what we had. Like, we knew everything that was happening between our parents. Like, we knew when there wasn't money, when there was, like, we knew, like, you get me, like, we knew about shit we didn't need to know
at the end of the day. It's humility.
Exactly. So then you do grow and you are a little bit more mature and you do learn from other people, like just from watching like what happened. So then
that our upbringing was definitely like one of the biggest parts like of why our personalities are like this, and I feel like, you know, it was destiny at the end of the day for us to meet. Like, 2 great minds think alike.
And I think also once we did meet, like, as much as it sucks but doesn't, like, we separated ourselves from, like, our friends a lot. Which, like, not like you don't like to, you shouldn't isolate yourself, but it was for good reason, and it ended up being better for us because even now when we try to hang out with those people, it's like it's not the same. Like,
yeah, like we're in another stage of life,
yeah.
Like bro, like we're trying to ball.
Like imagine when you're like 26, 27, that you meet the love of your life and like you're settling down. Like we did that just like
earlier.
Oh, way earlier. Like,
earlier in time.
So you got more mature because I mean we're 18 thinking about like how we're gonna save to move out or like you got
how we're
like,
gonna save to buy a house.
Exactly. Like that's not what the fuck
like,
people that are 21 are thinking
it's come
about.
up and I can confirm that because I have boys and I see it all the time. I'm like, bro, like you plan on living with your mom for like the next
and
5-6 years?
Realistically, we look at it like that because we're not there, but that is the normal place to be.
I mean, yeah, save your money. Yeah. Everybody when I was young was like, oh, save your money, live with your mom as soon as you can, as much as you can. But it's like, I can only take so much like for my mental health. Like you get me, like. And you grow out of it. Like even this, we're doing the best we can with what we have, but like we're growing out of the space. There's not enough space to do this. Super growing out of the space. The next step is eventually to get our own house and have our own space to to be able to be more creative because like we have to select times to where we have to be able to do the podcast. For example, like today I had to take off all day from work to be able to do the podcast just because. Like, we don't live alone. We don't live alone, so it's not like we can't bust out a podcast at 12 in the night. Which, like, if we lived alone, like 3 in the morning, and we're like, shit, let's do it. You got me, like, or whatever. Like, you can't do that here. We all like it's. And it's too small at the end of the day, like. But this is the whole point of this. Like, we're growing. At least we got it going, though. Yeah, exactly. Like, we're doing a lot more than other people, and not to compare anything, but it's like. Yeah, and the biggest. We don't wait for shit. Yeah, like, and the biggest thing to get out of this is like, just do it. Like, don't overthink it. Yeah. Like just do it. Realistically, like we waited long to. We didn't need the wood panels or the sign or the like. We didn't need none of. We didn't need all the equipment that we had. Like, but shit always works how it's supposed to in a way. Like the timing was perfect. You know how it laid out was perfect. But don't wait. Like don't be like, oh, I have to wait until I get out of my mom's to do this. Like how are you gonna get out of your mom's if you're not starting? Yeah. You got me? Because it's the same thing with us. Like we can't wait until we blow up on YouTube to get out of here. Like you need to do something to blow up on YouTube to get out of here. Like you know what I mean? Yeah, of course. Yeah, you gotta just put your ideas into motion. Yeah. And see how they come out. And again, like I said, like everything we're talking, we were not meaning to have. We were gonna use our little camera that we use for our normal like our vlogging camera, which is right there. We're gonna use it to use the podcast. Thankfully, we had the help of Darlene's cousin and also my true friend Ronald. You get me? He's your cousin. That's true. He's my cousin. Weird. Sorry. But yeah, like he was able. He's a photographer, guys. Yeah. We're gonna drop his link, his handle down below. Yeah. He's gonna do our intro, like a bunch of stuff. Yeah. He's gonna we're gonna work for him with. But the point is that he lends us all this equipment because he sees the vision, like in the things that we're doing and stuff like that. Like, I don't even really think he has too many people around him that are trying to do podcasts. So he's kind of like experimenting. Yeah, and he like is trying to see different kinds of content. Yeah, like that different kinds of content that he can do. So it works for both of us. Like it's you got me. Yeah, I mean we love being in front of the camera, and he's a camera guy, a camera person. So it's like we go hand in hand. And it's cool because we think about it. And we're like, damn, what in like 2 years, like when you're like our fucking director or whatever the fuck. Yeah, like, we've spoken to. I mean, there's many things to come in the future, guys. Like at the we want to do like a lot of shit. Like our whole brand, like a whole like clothing line. Yeah, but that's for another conversation, like another topic for another episode. But overall, like we don't know what our evolved selves are gonna be at the end of the day. You know, this is we love making content. Yeah, but I would love to see how we evolve and. Kind of like grow in this industry and in this space that we do, you get me? Like I wouldn't like to just give up on it because shit got hard and shit like you know, obviously we're not people like that. Yeah, you know. But there's times when shit is tough and we're like, bro, like what do I do? Like what do we do? Like 2 weeks ago we were like, bro, this content shit like we weren't wanting to stop, it was just hard. Not even both of us, like sometimes it's like that's why we're a yin and yang type of like situation. Because when she's not feeding content, I'm on my toes and I'm like, bro, if you don't get your lazy ass up off the fucking bed, and let's do fucking content right now. And when I'm not feeling it, she's like, bro, but we have to do content, babe. Like, come on, get up, this and that. So it's like it's a balance at the end of the day. And definitely, I will say, like he's been the more I don't know.
Like, cause it's not like I don't see it. Like, I see the same thing. I see the vision. Like, he's just much more like motivated in general.
I'm just much more obsessed and obsessive with like the things that I do. Yeah. So like if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do something to 100%. And I'll sit down and think about a fucking content idea for an hour before we do the content.
Yeah.
Okay. Like even if we're wasting an hour of content, like that content's gonna come off fire and the video's gonna blow up like it's done every other time that we've sat down and put our heads to doing content.
Exactly.
But I'm just more of the pusher, like in the relationship, not in the relationship, but like in the relationship of content that we have. She is more like the
I just be lazy, yo. I just be lazy. I know exactly what I need to do.
Not lazy. That was not what I was referring to. She's more like the whatchamacallit, like the technician behind like all the
emails and like the brand thing.
Yeah, I would be more of the creator in a sense, like with the ideas and putting this here and putting that there and like this.
Yeah, because I definitely will say like although making content has shown me like I am creative, because I used to think I wasn't creative at all.
Yeah.
And it's like
I'm not saying that she's not creative.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is like even though I have like seen like shit done, like you are creative, like you come up with shit, like you edit things and it's like good, like you know, he's definitely more the creative person. So that's why I think he like this is even better for him because it gets his creativeness out, because like his normal job doesn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not to the extent that like social media, because it's such a broad space that you can just let your mind loose and like let it run wild and free. Yeah. The creativity part is like it just comes within me, and I realized it like when we started doing content. But she's definitely more in the business side of things, just because she's always dealing with emails and like contacting like brands and stuff like that, and dealing like with the brands and shit. But does not mean.
Oh my god, we didn't talk about when we got like signed.
Yeah,
so like midway also, like not midway, like it was September of last year that we were at 15K, and then I was like I feel like we need like an agent, like to get brand things.
We're dealing with a lot of brand shit and
and the thing is that like you wanna try to monetize it so it becomes your full-time thing. Like because you can't stop working to do this if you're not making money.
Yeah, you gotta kinda like delegate. So
and even though I could email people and I was emailing brands, it never looks as professional as like a whole agency doing it. So I had seen this agency and I'm like, I know we only have 15K, but like let me just try it.
Mm-hmm.
So I hit the lady up and I tried it, and she literally called us back and was like, you guys have grown so much in a little time, and like next year I think you guys are gonna pop. So she's like, I would love to be part of your growing thing. So then now at that point, September of last year, we got signed with an agency. And then we started getting brand deals and getting paid for our videos. Not every time, but like getting paid for certain things. Like for Valentine's Day, we did a promo for a wax thing.
Yeah.
And like just making money that like you would never think from a video
like
you would ever make.
From
and it's still nothing. At that point, we had 15K.
And it's funny. The thing that is funny is how everybody reacted once we started making content.
Oh my god.
Everybody would be like, oh, the little videos. Your little videos. And I'd be like, little? You know how much fucking time we spend doing these fucking videos for you to call it little? But whatever, like it's just the vision that they see at the moment.
Yeah.
Now when it gets interesting is when you tell them that you're making money off of it and they're like, yo, for real?
When you tell them what kind, like I remember my mom was like, damn, like you guys, I think my mom one day outside was like, oh, like yeah, this is really what you guys are gonna do, like this clown shit. Like she said it in Spanish, but like she was like, and we were like, what the fuck?
I got hot, bro. Like, if y'all can see me, I'm black and that's a red. I got hot. I was like,
because it was just kind of like, damn, what the fuck, like.
Yeah, like, and it sucks to hear that from like one of like your closest people that you talk to every day and you live with, and it's like.
So then whatever.
Like, you know all the work that we put in. Like you see us at home doing all this crazy shit. So it's like, bro, for you to say that is like a slap in my face.
The thing though is that like you also have to understand like we're first generation like of people living here. You got me? Like so they think coming from Cuba like you're either a lawyer, a doctor, or like some other shit. Like to be like you need a career, like you need a whatever. So little by little, when I started showing my mom, like, look at how much we made from this video, like, for promoting. Like, we showed one day, if you guys know the Trench family, they're super big on YouTube. They posted what they made in November.
JP.
They posted what they made in November of last year, and it was $348,000 in November of last year.
Off of YouTube, guys.
Exactly.
Off of fucking YouTube.
And I took a screenshot of it.
Obviously, they're popping.
But what the fuck? Imagine making $100,000 in November of last year. Like it's 1 month. Like So I remember I took a screenshot of that and I showed it to her, and I was like, "Look at this," and she was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "That's 3 doctor salaries
Yeah,
in a month."
and not to like seem like we're like I mean we are money hungry, but like not like.
And like it wasn't to show her like, oh my god, look at how rich we can be, but it was just kind of like
to
you can't talk shit. Like right now, this is our college. Like you give us 4 years of us doing this, and like we're gonna be a million times better than if we would have spent 4 years in FIU studying business or studying medicine
to
whatever.
get your bachelor's degree,
exactly.
to go work a
like
fucking.
People are just graduating, and that's fine for some people, but. The other thing too is that like we are money hungry. Like it's not to say we're greedy or we're bougie, and if we are, so fucking what? Like we grew up not having shit. So yes, I want to be rich, and yes, I want to have money, and yes, I'm gonna do the thing that takes the least work and makes the most fucking money. Like why wouldn't I do that?
Why would you not? Like I mean, shit. You're welcome to go out and fucking work construction and go out in the field and shit. But I mean, I that's just not what I mean. I work in the field currently, like you know, 'cause I just can't. Obviously dip from my job. I make pretty fucking good money, and I just can't dip from my job and like you know say fuck it. You get me? But this is definitely like what
the money you can make here is like you can't compare it to anything.
Like it's unreal, and it was like that conversation with your mom was basically just to show her that it's possible and that you don't need to be a doctor to make $200,000.
We had a lot of people, like a lot of close people, like literally like my mom and my brother, like the people we live with that see us doing it, and like. One day we had a conversation with my brother where he was like, be realistic. And I was like, damn, what the fuck? Like, you know, like, it was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean be realistic? And then a month later, he had a conversation with us where he was like, damn, like, y'all really do this. Like, I walk into the bathroom and like the ring light is there. Like, you guys really do this every day. Yeah. Like, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, it took some time for the people around us to really understand what the fuck we were doing.
Of course.
And for them to realize that it was not just videos.
Yeah. Like I'm not doing this for fucking fun. Like,
I mean,
like I am, but not really.
We are doing it for fun because we enjoy the process, so it is for fun.
Yeah, but it's like investing into a business. It's a business.
But it's a business. You gotta treat it like a business if you want to fucking make money out of it. At the end of the day, it's work. It's work that you have to put in. It's time and hours of the day that you have to put in. Yeah. It is what it is. So like, you know, I don't necessarily agree with the thought that social media is definitely like for the easy way out. It's not, because it's hard, so it's not the easy way out at
it's
all.
Just a way out. Like it's just a way out where you make a lot more money.
It's definitely a way out, obviously, but if you love what you do and you love being a creator, which we do, like then why the fuck not? I mean, at the end of the day,
and if people like you, then
ain't nobody fucking paying my bills, so I do whatever the fuck I want. You get me? Like that's like this is raw and uncut, y'all. Like
no discretion.
No discretion. We're not hiding anything. Like it's like. It is what it is. Like, and there's gonna be conversations on here that are gonna be quite uncomfortable, possibly to the people that are around us, because they're gonna be like, oh shit, like
they're talking about us.
They're talking about, and not even like we're not talking. We're just.
But not even about them. It's just.
We're just portraying how we feel and how our daily thoughts are.
And we're sharing our experience because you experience, like other people experience the same thing with other things.
And maybe they can relate.
If we had couples that weren't already huge. Like, yeah, we listen to GMB, but like, you're already there. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if we had couples that weren't already huge that we could watch when we were starting, like, that would talk about this, because that was a struggle for us. For like, seeing, like, how people thought about us, I was like, damn, like, I thought I would get so much more support.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
You get me? So when you hear someone else talk about it, you're like, shit, like, it happens to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Especially because of the type of people that we are, bro. Yeah. I've said this before. I'll move you in, I'll move you out.
Yeah, like
I'll move you back into a house if you need to. We're good friends. Like we're there for you whenever you need it, bro. Like I'll take off this if I need to from work just to help you out. Like we're those type of friends. Like in the group, we're that type of friends.
So we expect the same back.
So we expect the same back. So when we don't get it back, it's kind of like fuck you. Like it's kind of like I don't like you anymore. Like, you know, I know I need to change. I feel like that's something that I need to change and not be too extreme.
You can't take everything personal.
I know.
Because some things are not personal.
That's eventually like what you go learning like a long time, but I just don't see it fair that like such a supportive person I can't get that back.
Yeah.
Like to the same like extent or level that I give.
But it happens.
It happens. Of course it happens, but you know you deal with it and you learn and you roll with the punches. Exactly. But it is what it is, guys. It is what it is.
And now we're here, y'all.
And now we're here.
This is definitely way longer than 30 minutes.
Definitely. We're planning to keep this to 30 minutes, but it's like when we get to talking, it's just like ain't no stopping. I didn't mean to rhyme,
but yeah, guys. So basically, that is how we met and how we started D&D, which now this is no discretion, but we have our channel, so go subscribe or you're mean. But but we love you guys. We hope you guys like this podcast. I'm very excited.
Yeah, this little episode 1. I feel like it was a good conversation to start off with, to be honest with you.
Alright, you guys, the camera cut off for the last time of the podcast.
Yes.
It's cut off like 7 times.
We gotta figure.
My cousins here.
Yeah, we have to figure this whole camera thing out.
Yeah, but it's the first episode, so we did good. But basically, you guys, we were just saying bye. We love you. We hope you guys are excited as us.
Yeah,
for this podcast.
We hope you guys enjoyed this first little episode. You know, it was just to get to know us kind of a bit. I feel like that's something really. Yeah. Really normal for us to do and relatable for other people. Yeah. You know, because they get to know more of our side of the story, more of our personality. Like, I'm a very unserious, serious person, so you might see me like crack dark jokes.
I'll probably cry a lot on this podcast because I'm a crier.
When she gets sentimental,
I cry for everything.
She will let it drip.
Yeah.
Like she will drip, like leak for what? Like.
I'm surprised I didn't cry today talking about like how we grew.
I mean, look, I feel like her eyes are getting watery right now, saying that she's about to cry.
Stop.
Look.
But yeah. So next episode, you guys, is gonna be about how we moved in together at 16 years old. So tune into that one.
That should be a very interesting one because that one is something tragic happened that made us move in with each other.
But hey,
and I feel like you guys would want to listen to that one.
Yeah. So like, comment, and subscribe. We won't be putting this on Spotify and Apple. We gotta figure that out. We just wanted to film it, so we'll see what we do with that. But like, comment, subscribe, and come back next week for our next episode. Bye.
We love you guys. Yeah.
Hey.
It's your discretion.